And ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year once again, and this is a Harding High School Telecom production. And I'm Scott Cameron, and to my right I have Joshua Votal. Josh, thanks for joining us this evening.
It's great being here once again. This time of year is always exciting. Basketball is one of my favorite sports to watch for sure.
And, new season, new beginnings. It's almost kind of like opening day in baseball, or, the football season kicks off. First day of basketball, there's all hope, and you never know what you're going to get, like a box of chocolates, and who knows, right? And I feel like we're kind of in that right now. You and I were just kind of looking through some of the rosters here for Harding. Tell me, what are some of your observations?
Well, first of all, the main thing I see here is a lot of young students, a lot of 10th grade freshmen, only one senior.
Well, we got two. We got
two?
Gracie and
Yep.
Paige. Right?
Okay.
And you know what? They're both starting. And I'm looking here at Olentangy, Berlin. That's who the Presidents are playing tonight. The Berlin Bears. I believe they're Bears. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. but anyways, so they also only have two seniors, and they are starting. so this is as a famous commentator would say, we got a bunch of diaper dandies, baby. Dick Vitale, and it's true though. We have a lot of youth on this court tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how that happens, how that gels for both these teams.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, too. You hope that all the preparation leading up to tonight for your students, no matter who you're coaching, you hope that you've prepared them well enough for this season, and this is really going to show who's listened, who's progressing, and who's picked up on what you've been trying to do.
Right, and we've Harding. We were just kind of talking about this coming in. Corey White back here for his second year. Got some interesting assistants. Yeah, Clay Cheney, who you know.
Yes,
we both know.
We both know Clay. Good guy, good family. Very athletic himself, especially on to college down at. In Delaware at
did he go to Capital originally, or
yeah,
and then so
but all around just pure athlete.
Correct, and a pleasant kid, so he's familiar with the area, and so also Chris Schertzer coming over, who was coaching boys and is now coaching girls, and so we're gonna pause for the introduction of the starters. And, folks, we'll be right back in just a second.
Please join us in the playing of the national anthem.
I tell you what, Josh, nothing gets me fired up more than hearing that national anthem and those flute trills at the end. That just sends ice through my veins.
That reminds me of Lizzo.
I'm
It's spectacular.
yeah, and
She's one of the best flautists I've ever heard.
I just don't even know where to go from there. But thank you, Josh. All right,
Yes.
so as Enter Sandman kicking off the beginning of the 22-23 girls basketball season for the Harding Presidents against the Berlin of Olentangy Bears. And the tip is off. Sets up in a man defense, the Presidents. Olentangy came out in a flat 4 offense. Since then, of course, we moved around, puts up the 3, but it hit the band.
Yes, doesn't count.
So it'll be Harding ball, and Berlin coming out in a zone press. Full court. Ball thrown away by Jackson.
This is something that it looks like both teams are doing the same thing as far as defense.
Praying.
They're both playing the same way.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, and yeah. Ooh. Thompson draws up the foul. Anytime you can put a hand on somebody, but once you put an elbow or 2 hands on somebody, it's going to be an easy call foul all day long. Olentangy comes out in a box out of bounds set.
Looks good so far.
Yeah, driven in
just moving the ball around, and they're looking. Where Harding is pulled off, they just made 2. Where Harding pulls off, they look and find that open person.
It was, we were watching the JV game, and we saw Olentangy really went hard with the full court press in that 4th quarter and really kind of took over the game from Harding there in that second half. And we're kind of seeing the same recipe for Olentangy's varsity squad. Enter on the ISO. Bell throws up for 2. Paige Powers kind of throws into traffic a little bit and given out to Bandari. Bandari kind of lacklusterly throws it up. And someone's going to get a first down there. Jackson dribbles away from it. Powers throws up the 3 off the corner. Gracie can't throw it in, and the ball will be staying here.
Yeah, I think that that full court defense is really throwing Harding off right now.
Correct.
It's not giving them a chance to really look for a good open pass.
Well, yeah. Well, and there we got a nice look going in the deep corner there for Jackson. Jackson kind of throwing in a hand there, and the ball is dribbled in. Looking back out, pointing. Nice backdoor cut. Jackson snuffs it out. And quickly taken back again by Elliott. Elliott stops. Passes the ball over to Bell, and she throws in for another 2. It seems pretty clear to me that Abby Bell, the 5'10 senior, appears early on to be their bread and butter. Jackson has a nice look. Rebound by Brady. Mitchell will take the ball, set up an offense. This is the first offense I think Harding has had the chance to run here. Flash to the top by Powers. Given out. Brady puts up the bucket.
Steps in. That's 2.
Yep. She caught that ball in nice rhythm. Was able to take a nice even step right towards the basket. Goes in for 2. Ooh, that was almost an over and back, and that was almost a travel.
I was going to say the same thing.
Bandari lowers her shoulder. That tough call. Tough call. Bandari kind of lowered her shoulder into Paige, but
it's one of those things that you learn as you learn the game, and you hope that those calls go your way.
Right. Yeah, and it's just, yeah, so be it. So Bandari has the ball, flashes it around, driven in by Merriweather. No good. Elliott turns the ball over. Mitchell one-on-one, and no foul called. All right. Mitchell, though, steals the ball back. And Brady gets a flat tire, but is able to finish the basket. Flash to the rim there, still
jump
not.
Ball? No.
Boy, this is 3 fouls on Harding. I'm not going to disagree with the 3 fouls, but I think they've been equally as aggressive, assertive, and physical and have not had a foul yet. And that can be frustrating, especially when you're dealing with a young team. Boy, Harding's had a lot of success over the last few years, and so they're learning, and they're not starting from scratch, but they're relearning. And Gracie Thompson probably should have let that go. Goes back to Olentangy.
She was calling for it a little bit earlier. Just saw her down there a little too late for that pass, and then
too late.
Too late. Yep.
It's just too late. It's too late. Too late. Too late. Too late for Love. Ooh, and that ricochets off a couple pinballs. Boy, it's you know, when you do full court press, it can get kind of sloppy, and especially with young teams, we're seeing that.
Yeah, and you're seeing it here that Harding's not taking advantage of those open people when they're covered by 2 or 3 as well.
Right.
So
this is all learning experience, kind of stuff that you go back and watch the film, watch the game back. Hey, this is where we're going to be, and yeah, I agree. That's the thing with the first game of the season. So right there's 2 defenders that crashed down on Mitchell. They're in. Where were our girls? There's someone could have been open. Jackson dribbles in, finds Thompson. Thompson throws up and banks it in, making it 8-6 Olentangy. Dribbled in by Merriweather, finds the cutter by Elliott, and she throws up an air ball and then throws it out of bounds. Wow. Chapin coming into the game.
As far as aggressiveness from both teams, it's pretty equal here.
Yeah, and you know, I have not seen a sub in yet, and I've seen Olentangy sub in a couple girls. I don't know how deep we are on the bench, and that, yeah, he said it was touch. That's why not the double dribble. Ooh.
Oh.
Bell just can't get that ball to go down now. But, yeah, I don't know how deep our bench is. I really don't.
That's something that we'll find out here later on when we see the substitutions come in, see if we can get that 6th person to come in and give them a break. And
well,
now
we've seen over the last few years, Harding's had some good teams, but not good depth, and that ends up being the Achilles heel, if you will, of our season oftentimes, is that lack of depth. So Coach White seeing what he gets from him all from the beginning, and as Bandari comes back in, giving Elliott a break. Ball taken out from the corner. That's a hard place to take that out of, especially when you can't move. Mitchell finds Thompson. Thompson finds Jackson in a tough spot, but draws the foul. Good pivot. Way to pivot that, stop and motion her body, and draws the foul. She will take 2 shots. So since we have a little bit of downtime here, tomorrow's not tomorrow, but we're 2 days away from Thanksgiving. Are you a dark meat or a light meat kind of guy?
Yeah, it's the dark meat. I go right for the leg. Every time. Every time.
Are you salivating on the microphone right now?
I am thinking about it as we speak. But I also am I'm a ham fan.
You're a ham fan?
Yes.
Okay, we'll let you live.
So-
And then, oh, man, Van Dari pulling a John Heisman there, but the refs couldn't see that. Not in a good position. Well, basketball karma worked itself out, throws the ball out of bounds. People don't like the light meat because they say it's dry.
If done improperly, yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if I necessarily like the dark meat. I mean, it's okay. I like it, but I don't know. It's just something with the mashed potatoes.
The mashed potatoes. What do you mean? There's no meat in mashed potatoes, Scott. That's a vegetable.
I don't believe you.
Well,
Alex Jones said meat is actually a potato.
well, I'll have to do some research on that.
Come back with it. Elliott dribbling the ball up the court. Moves past Mitchell. Drake's all the way to the hole. And hits her about 13 and a half times, finding its way in the rim, giving them a 10-8 lead. Thompson pressured, and the prayers have been answered as Brady brings the ball up the court, gives off to Mitchell, being pressured. And Dari being relentless on defensive end, and Jackson just can't find the bottom of that hoop yet. Jackson's a good shooter, man. I mean, she she really had to pick up a lot of load last year with the lack of depth, and so she learned how to play a lot very quickly and learned that she can be a main source of offense. She's got a good shot. She just has to start to feel comfortable with it. As we enter Talia Thomas, J.K. Dobbins. Yes, now she will enter the game. And she will be guarding the 5'10", 11th grader, Megan Bendari, the point guard. And I don't think one team I've not seen anyways, particularly anyone sticking out to me that's more physical, more skilled yet. I do think this Abby Bell, the post, she's on the bench right now for Olentangy. And Bendari, I've seen she's very aggressive. The lefty.
At the line for the Bears, number 10, Nia Ray shoots 2.
Misses the front. Boy, I tell you what, once again, 5 fouls to 1.
Yeah, getting a little bit out of hand with the.
Well, and we don't have a whole lot of depth to begin with, so we're getting in a pickle real quick.
Very early. And still, I don't think there's been, other than the one substitution we just had, that was it.
Right. So it will happen at some point, folks. Paige Powers kind of loses control of the dribble. Goes off her feet. Olentangy brings it back. Ooh, probably could have been called. Wasn't. Bendari drives. Off to Bell. She drives to the elbow, pulls up, goes around the horn. Shot in by Elliott, off the mark. Bendari has the ball again. Drives to the hole. See, oh my! But that's her strong side. She's a lefty. So again, that assertiveness, that aggressiveness, she's utilizing that and drew the foul and won.
Carrying foul number 12, Talia Thomas, her second, team 6. Raised the line for
And boy,
Still a lot of game left.
yeah. But here we had, Talia Thomas came in and she's drawn 2 quick fouls. Yikes, right?
Yes.
I mean, once again, we're 6 fouls to 1. I'm sure they'll have a conversation here in the next 16 seconds about that. Mitchell throws up a shot, makes a three. That's a big shot for her. I know that for her, that long-distance shot has been extremely important to develop, and way to have that go in there. That helps a lot. Boy, that three-pointer makes this a totally different game.
Yes, and just the first quarter.
Just first quarter. Folks, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back here for Harding High School Telecom production.
Syndicated television shows, and audio production engineers. So don't hesitate to schedule Harding Telecom Digital Media. Talk to your guidance counselor or see Mr. Mullins in room 201.
They're going to return all the starters back out.
I believe. Folks, welcome back for the second quarter of our game. As, what'd you see from Harding that gives you some good vibes here from the first quarter, Josh?
Good vibes is they're equally as physical and aggressive with the ball. They did have some turnovers, but they also caused some turnovers.
Correct.
Which is also a positive, because if you can get those things, you get the possession and then you do well with it and score, it's a whole new game.
Yeah. And I think in terms of defense, sometimes that over-aggressiveness has cost us to allow people open or put our feet in bad spots and allow their aggressiveness to overcome our bad defensive presence. So, see, that's good defense. That's good defense.
Fighting for the ball.
But now you had to get back, and that opens up that drive for them to use their aggressiveness. So it's about controlled aggression, right?
Yes. You have to be very measured with it. And
correct. Draws the foul. There we go.
Only their second.
Casey Whitaker going to the line.
Number 2, Abby Bell, her first, team second. Casey Whitaker at the line for Marion, shooting 2.
I don't know, man. Do you like real mashed potatoes, or do you like the bagged mashed potatoes?
I have to have the real mashed potatoes. Are
you a mashed potato snob?
Yes. I've had this discussion many a times with my family, and every year they try and trick me
into those Idahoan
and say,
microwave ones.
Is it real or not? And I have been right 100% of the time.
You devil.
I know.
Harding couldn't get any of those two to drop for us, trailing by 5. Nice backdoor cut. Put back out to Elliott. Off the mark. Ball rambles around. Picked up by Bell. And there will be a contact foul on Casey Whitaker.
Marion foul number 23, Casey Whitaker, her first, team 7.
And this will be a very long quarter, as they'll be shooting bonus from here on out. Ooh. Sloppy play. It's that, that's just youth. That's youth. It's that panic ball, right? So instead of being strong and assertive with the ball, and if you're going to pick up your dribble, you better pass and be strong and assertive, elbows out, chest pass. And instead, what we've seen with some of this youth on both sides, by the way. Both sides.
Yes.
It's just that it's a panic ball. It's a panic basketball. And it's oh crap, someone's on me. Oh. And it's a
Right.
hot potato, rather than move.
And that you're right.
Move, be confident in what you're doing. Don't throw up Hail Marys, Doug Flutie. Bell drives in, gets her own rebound, and can't get to roll around. And yeah. I don't know how that's not a foul, but it's not a foul apparently.
And it's still 7 fouls to 2. But
ooh, and it could have been called a travel and a walk, and another 50-50 ball.
and this is where the aggressiveness works until you panic, like you were just talking about.
But that's what it was. That was a panic pass.
Yes, saw someone open for a split second, but didn't see the person coming up to take on their person. So,
both teams have to work on that ball handling skill. It is.
You have to see the full court instead of just the one flash.
Correct, and we've had some great guards coming through here in the last couple years, and then we had Justice, who she could handle the ball. But those people are gone now, and so some of our players are going to have to pick up and have that confidence in just ball distribution. Bell goes over with a little fadeaway jump hook, making it 18-11, 6 minutes left in the half. Harding's got to do something positive offensively here. Nice
That's a
dish.
good look pass.
Nice dish by Mitchell.
Way to see her right on the corner down there.
Yeah, and both men they took 2 steps towards Mitchell, and that left Pedraza wide open.
That's part of seeing that court vision.
Correct. And
where you have to see just more than the basket.
So notice it's not a full court press. They are just pressing Mitchell. They know that we're going to have to do something to handle the ball better. Ooh, now just can't find its way in, and it's going to remain here as Harding ball. So if we're looking at this here, we got 3 of our starters in. Again, lots of youth, and a little bit of miscommunication. Ball can't go in, 1v3. As Robert Plant would say, communication breakdown. We got a timeout here, a full timeout taken by Corey White. We'll go ahead and stay here, Josh. We were talking turkey, and it is the holiday season. What is your favorite dessert?
That's a tough one. If you know me, I like all the dessert. So give me a little bit of everything. But I would have to say,
that sounds like a scapegoat answer.
For Thanksgiving, it is pumpkin pie with a little bit of whipped cream and a little sprinkle of cinnamon.
A little sprinkle of cinnamon.
Cinnamon, yeah.
Boy, you are a devil, man. Okay.
That's for Thanksgiving. I've got to have that.
All right, where does pecan pie land in this?
Oh, that's a close second. That's a very close second as far as pies go. Now, if we want to talk the top 3 here, let's talk about that peanut butter pie.
And have you ever had the peanut butter pies from in Waldo?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones that are the size of your face. Yes. And I took my daughter there for the first time earlier this summer, and it pretty much covered her entire face.
Right. It's all right. And now that we are much akin to our culinary desires and heart, one bounded by Whitaker to Brady. Brady dribbles around. Whitaker sets the high ball screen off the angle. Up the top. Around to Mitchell, who dribbles around waiting for a screen from Brady, finds nothing, cuts to the middle, finds wide open Pedraza at the top, and she just can't throw it in. Kind of a scary looking shot at the top of the key. Wow, crafty move by Candy Elliott. She's driving, she waited and kept that ball low. One thing girls basketball, the changing of tempo does wonders in boys basketball. You can completely demolish a team by changing tempo. In girls basketball, it's one thing where if you can get a girl that can play, Araya Douglas, when she was here, understood change of tempo and how that could completely dismantle a defense. And both teams of these have so far, they've just kind of been going at one speed. It's just some are more aggressive with that than others. The classic handoff to the inbounder. Can't throw it in. And going to be going down the other end.
And this is where we're in the bonus territory.
Oh, they can pull away. They can pull away. 8-3, Josh.
Yeah, that's it's something that they've really got to get under control. Figure out what's going on.
With Harding, we've been 0 for 4 at the free throw line, and we've had some problems. Both boys and girls have had problems with free throw shooting in the past. As a point of emphasis, Berlin will retreat to play the standard half-court defense. Mitchell driving in and cannot get to roll. Great drive. A little high on the kiss of the glass, but Berlin brings it back. Chapin had the ball. Hands it off to Merriweather. Merriweather drives in the middle and is going to have a charge foul.
Good play. She got set, was there, did exactly what she needed to do.
Oh, yeah. Pedraza, man. She stepped right in the middle of that paint.
That's something that's hard to coach.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
I remember playing, we would have our coach would get the tackling pads from football, and he would just beat the snot out of us and say, "We're going to run into you." And I was like, "You're going to fall," and called travel on Brady. Double team pressure forces that turnover, as Bell will re-enter the game. And one thing that we were in shortage of is consistent height. You see a player like Bell, who's 5'10". We don't have. We have Jackson, who. We have some height. We have some height, but a lot of it is young, and it's learning how to control that height. And so we're gonna have some matchup problems, especially if we play bigger, leaner teams. Nice play. So, again, man, it comes down to that youth,
Yeah.
and just that development. That was an outstanding look by Mitchell.
Rebound.
We've been talking about that. Powers, and that's going to be an easy charge. Yeah, Paige had to distribute that ball before that.
Player control foul number 2, Paige Powers. First, second, team's 9.
That's all right. What do you think they're going to do here these next 2 minutes and 30 seconds?
Man, I'm kind of trying to figure it out. I don't think we've I'm not seeing Harding run a consistent, positive offense. I'll be honest. We have done some good things on a run.
Yes.
Catch them sleeping, but I've not seen a whole lot of positive offensive stuff. There you go. I've seen a lot of ISO plays like that to where one person does something. But as far as like running through a play, finding it's just not been as plentiful as I'd like to see. But with a young team, that's common.
Where you're looking for things that you've gone through in practice, and it's good, 3 points.
Well, and it's different in a game,
Right. And you're just hoping that you're given that time where that play can develop, and you haven't been able to do that with this team either.
Super high ball screen. Oh. The ball hit out by Brady.
When you're going from a practice to game time, the time you take to develop a play in practice is not going to happen in practice like it does in the game. You have to be able to move and adjust to that tempo.
Well, and you run plays in practice. The players know it's coming, and so they cheat so you're just kind of weird as it is. Sometimes you can lull your offense, and then when you're playing players that they're not doing what we've predicted or what we've been working on and what we've seen in practice, and then you kind of start panicking a little bit, and we've seen some of that. Ball entry to Page. Pass wasn't there, so Page tries to enter the ball, and wow, that was unusual looking, but great steal snag there by Bell. So here's that change of speed. That allows Bell to get her position on the second hash, but couldn't get the ball to drop. Mitchell being double teamed, so someone has to flash. Finding Whitaker. 23 seconds left. You almost want to kind of just get the last shot. So gets the ball to Mitchell. She's setting up. It's backcourt. And defensively, they're extending out. So that means something's going to be open. Paige Powers shoots a three. Over and long. Bell rebounds. There's 4 seconds left. Ball shot for a long three. Ooh, almost banks in. 28-17. Olentangy over the presence of Harding. Some things I think they're going to be talking about there in halftime there, Josh. We'll talk more about that also when we come back from this break. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back for the second half of the Harding versus Olentangy girls basketball.
Available for upperclassmen who have completed the prerequisite Telecom 1 class. Here you will produce and direct your own broadcast events. You will be put in charge of productions and lead other students through the introductory processes of media production. Many of our telecom graduates have gone on to study broadcast media in college and launched careers as television news and weather personalities, Emmy-winning editors for nationally syndicated television shows, and audio production engineers. So don't hesitate to schedule Harding Telecom Digital Media. Talk to your guidance counselor or see Mr. Mullins in room 201.
Whoa, slow down there, Hot Rod.
We know you're in a hurry to get to the historic OK Cafe located at 734 East Center Street, Marion, Ohio. And we know you can't wait to enjoy the great food and beverages at one of the most popular restaurants in town, known for their famous handmade pizzas, subs, calzones, and more. And we know you can't wait to meet up with good friends for the best in live local entertainment, big screen sports action, bike nights with weekly contests and prizes. But what's the hurry? We're open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays, offering dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. Oh well, some people just can't wait to get to the OK Cafe. Welcome to Harding Telecom Digital Media. Unlike television, print, and radio media, which are all one-way communications, digital media creates an interconnected world of interactive communications that puts you in control of content creation and broadcasting. As a member of Harding Telecom, we have 3 ways of building your digital media skills. As an underclassman, you can take our semester-long class, Intro to Video Editing, where you'll be introduced to the latest hardware and software in digital media. Learn to create your own content with overlays, special effects, and audio processors. Your content will only be limited by your imagination. Telecom 1 is a year-long class that introduces you to the world of audio-video broadcast communications. Here you will learn how to operate video hardware and software, design sets, direct and produce events, and expand your editing capabilities broadcasting online and over our public access television channel. You will learn to produce daily news announcements and share your creations throughout our cable television and social media networks. Finally, Telecom 2 is our year-long class available for upperclassmen who have completed the prerequisite Telecom 1 class. Here you will produce and direct your own broadcast events. You will be put in charge of productions and lead other students through the introductory processes of media production. Many of our telecom graduates have gone on to study broadcast media in college and launched careers as television news and weather personalities, Emmy-winning editors for nationally syndicated television shows, and audio production engineers. So don't hesitate to schedule Harding Telecom Digital Media. Talk to your guidance counselor or see Mr. Mullins in room 201.
And we're back right here at Harding High School watching and presenting to you the Prexies of Harding versus the Bears of Olentangy, Berlin. And kind of an interesting first half. Josh, it's kind of what I expected, what I thought we'd see from both teams. A little bit of sloppiness. What did you see there, Josh?
Both teams were very aggressive defensively, and the one thing that I noticed was the turnovers. Olentangy was able to actually convert those to points,
yes,
where we weren't able to capitalize like that.
Yeah, speaking of, here we go with the turnover. Mitchell drives in, finds Jackson. Jackson can't put the ball in the hoop. I don't think Jackson has scored yet tonight. Having kind of a rough go at it. Has had some good looks, but just can't get it to go in. Paige Powers has the ball looking up, finds Mitchell, stops, pokes a three, nothing there. That's going to go off Jackson.
Again, two turnovers there that didn't turn into any points, and that's what makes a big difference.
Right. And, yeah, so those are two opportunities. We've had some opportunities at the line, and, add those all up, and we're down 11. Jackson loses her man and fortunately goes off the back of the rim. Mitchell gives that rebounded ball up to Jackson. Jackson looks up the court. Finds Powers down the block. Powers throws up a shot. No avail. Rebounded by Bell. Ball handed off. Brought up the court. Off Merriweather. Jackson recovers the ball. She's looking up. Sees nothing. Gives it off to Mitchell. Yeah, and
both teams very hurried offense
yes.
and forcing things. And right now is about the first time either team's really slowed things down.
It's almost like it's the first game of the season. And so Mitchell has the ball looking and no one's setting screens, no one's really moving, so Mitchell drives and she draws the foul. I don't know for sure, but if we were to go back and look at that tape, we had all four of our girls. They're literally moving in a circle. Maybe they're trying to start a whirlpool. I'm not sure, but there was just nothing going on there. And Paige kind of went into her and Jocelyn Franz kind of upset about that call.
And this is the first time in the game that they have more fouls than we do.
Way to speak it. Look at that no-hitter in the 7th.
Yeah.
And once again, just can't. That's, I believe we are 5 or 6 now from the line. There we go. Take the free points while you got them. And Dari kind of finds herself in a pickle, hands off to Elliott. Elliott down to Bell, and no
Good
call.
block.
Boy, that
looked like it was all ball.
It was a tough no call for Berlin. And the reason why is a tough no call for Berlin is she came down to block that ball. That could have been 5 seconds, and the ball gets jostled around. Paige ends up with it, finds Gracie Thompson. He throws up a 3 off the mark, rebounded by default. Pinball. This is crazy. There's no that patience that we're admiring in the offense just a few minutes ago seemed to go out the window there. It was panic, throw the ball up, panic, throw the ball up.
It's something that when you're a young team as well and you look at the scoreboard and you start to get in your own head.
Right. Well, and you just saw right there. I mean, Berlin brings the ball up. They literally sat there and watched our two girls come up for that half-court trap. They knew it was coming. They watched it happen, and Berlin still walked right into the corner, and we trapped them. And then the Berlin offensive player was like, "Oh, what do I do with the ball?" It's like, you mean to tell me you didn't see a trap coming? It's just they're both teams are young. First game this season, just stuff you hopefully stuff we don't continue to see halfway through the season, but I don't think we will. But just first game blunders, right?
Oh yeah, you have to. You even look at some of the most talented teams, especially this season. And I know the Lakers have gotten it, and LeBron James have gotten a bad rap this season for how they started off. With so much talent that they have, and to lose, I believe it was 5.
Yeah, 5
straight.
or 6. Yeah.
You know,
it's Bandari. That was Mia Raines is not in the game.
But even when you have talented players like that, they did lose a lot of people from the previous year.
Correct.
So you have that new, you just haven't got that full feeling of sense of where someone's going to be yet.
Right, and still coming along.
Yeah.
Thompson put the ball in, and boy, they dribbled right around our half-court trap. Here's the thing, man. If you're going to do a trap, your inside defender must face the corner of the court. What that means is if you are facing the sideline, they will splice and dice you. If you face the half-court line, the midline, they will cut right around you. When you are the inside defender on that trap, you must face the corner of the half-court. It's just a foot angle thing. And that was not done. They went right around us, caused problems. Mitchell drives to the hole, doesn't find it, rebounded. Olentangy pushes up, doesn't see a couple options that they could have had, and driven to the hole by Franz, and ball kind of goes around, and he slams the ball to Mitchell off the rebound. And we've slowed down here. It appears to be a four quarters kind of offense. Four corners motion. Usually on something like this, you are going to drive and then find your post just like that. Jackson with a nice look, trails a shot, and they're going to call tough call foul, but the correct foul, and they're calling the left hand hold back push off. Frustratingly, her third foul. Pedraza checks back into the game. Pedraza, and that first half, she got a lot of playing time and played a lot of JV last year, so cutting her teeth here into this season, which many girls will be doing. Ball thrown up by Franz, kind of haphazardly, rebound by Mitchell. Ooh, cuts and slices and dices. And Thompson ends up with the ball. Driven in by Brady. Finds Pedraza. Can't get the fall. Thompson rebounds back out to Mitchell. Doesn't use the screen to drive. Instead goes to the top of the key. Powers throws up the three. And the ball hits the middle of the paint. So either no one won to rebound, or they did too good a job blocking out. Boy.
This has been a very low scoring.
Yeah, I mean, this is, not been a very efficient offensive quarter, that is for sure, by both teams.
Yes, both teams, yeah.
But that's the kind of thing where if both teams are doing it, you got to be the team. If you're the one that's down, you got to find something that works. Merriweather finds her shot. Some 16 feet away. Carelessness offensively with the ball. She's upset. I know Mitchell's upset about that pass. But it's the importance of a possession. Here's the funny thing. I remember high school we had a point guard that was a little laissez-faire at times with the basketball. And we're going to take a short time out here, but we're going to stay here because I want to talk about this real quick. And I'll never forget, we had Coach Doug Hill. And he took out his wallet, pulled out a $20 bill, and he gave it to our point guard at the time. He said, "What are you going to do with this if I give this to you?" He said, "Put it in my wallet." He said, "You just going to leave your wallet anywhere?" He said, "No." He said, "Is $20 a lot of money for you?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "That basketball is worth more than $20." He said, "If you're willing to take care of this $20 bill that I give you, why are you being so careless with the basketball?" And it was just one of those things
very
where
true.
It's each possession matters, especially when you're trailing. It doesn't matter if the pass was a rough pass to you. Go get the freaking ball, two-hand that thing, possess it, and then go.
Yes.
You cannot try to possess the ball and move forward. There's people that make millions of dollars a day to do that. Harding turning up the defensive pressure. And that's what can happen. Nice left-handed shot. Put up there by Winks, 5'6" junior. I don't know if we've called her name tonight, so she comes into the game making a great play, left-handed. Ball given out.
Now's where they are getting that little bit of extra time, but then putting themselves in a situation where they have to hurry and do something differently.
Right, and Jackson quickly comes back in, and that last offensive possession did not have the flow that was giving off good opportunities to score. That's a nice way of saying it. And they're just kind of walking the ball up the floor, and Jackson gets beat back door. Opens it up. Jackson has to do a ball denial defense. She stands straight up, and she doesn't even deny the ball, and her man's just beating her back door. And once you start having to do help side, you're 2 passes away from an easy layup for the other team. Draws are kind of trying to get a hold of it, and it's going to be a jump ball. It's going to belong to the president staying here. Merriweather enters the game. This is a learning experience for the Presidents, down 18. Trying to find their offensive rhythm still. Brady with the step back. And I don't know, is the ref trying to play patty cake? Oh no, okay, It belongs to Olentangy.
I believe he was saying it went off her head.
Yeah, boy. In the fouls, it's 4-2, nothing it's mischievous or anything. Just, boy, the quarter was sloppy, Josh.
Yes.
It was sloppy. That was a travel that wasn't called. But can't call them all, or else we'll be here till 11 o'clock. They seem content to get to the last shot, and that's going to be, tough call with 9 seconds left. But they are in the coffin corner trying to inbound that, and it does not require 3 people. Okay, there you go. So, ball will be entered. They didn't get in their square. Merriweather puts up a prayer, and the ball will land in the President's hands. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the 4th quarter for the Harding Presidents basketball production.
Welcome to Harding Telecom Digital Media. Unlike television, print, and radio media, which are all one-way communications, digital media creates an interconnected world of interactive communications that puts you in control of content creation and broadcasting. As a member of Harding Telecom, we have 3 ways of building your digital media skills. As an underclassman, you can take our semester-long class, Intro to Video Editing, where you'll be introduced to the latest hardware and software in digital media. Learn to create your own content with overlays, special effects, and audio processors. Your content will...
And we're back here for the 4th quarter. Do you look forward to the NFL games on Thanksgiving Day?
No, I look more forward to my nap.
Ah, yes.
After
Yes.
I have stuffed myself, then it's time for me to take a nap.
So you're a fan of taxidermy?
Yes.
That she was
it's
out of
something-
bounds, yeah.
It's something that, really just depends on who's playing
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving.
Everyone always, she kind of gets up a little gingerly. Merriweather, that was kind of a weird slide there.
What
And
about
that-
you? You make sure to watch football, or are you a parade guy?
Actually, screw parades. Anyways, but I will say, and you know what ruined parades for me? When I was a kid and the Batman came out, with Jack Nicholson, with that parade floaty, I was always paranoid. If I go to a parade and they're going to poison me and then try to throw out money and I'm going to die.
Okay. Yes.
But anyways.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So anyways, one thing that I always am looking forward to is the football games. But we got a different football going on right now. It's the World Cup.
That's
And the
true.
United States plays England,
yes.
Friday at 2 o'clock. And I hope we get to beat them back to the Brits again. We already bailed them out twice in world wars. We're going to beat them again. Sorry to all my British friends out there.
I mean,
No, actually, England is very good. That will be a rough game, a rough test for the United States. It will probably be a 2-0, maybe 3-0, 3-1 kind of game. That'll be a tough game for the United States. Picking it back up here. Cut down low by Merriweather, coming off that kind of slippage. She's going to draw 2 shots.
you know who else is having a World Cup right now?
You're going to tell me, but I don't know.
The WWE is having a World Cup qualifier for the Intercontinental Championship.
And who are you pulling for in that?
Right now, I would have to say it would be Ricochet.
John Cena!
Ricochet from the United States.
How does that happen? What do they do?
And
is this predetermined like everything else?
Well, no, wrestling's real. We all know that, as established in the court hearings and things in the early 90s.
It's still real to me.
But each wrestler represents their country,
Okay.
and the winner wins the cup and a title match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Good for them. Let them live. Ball picked off from Powers, but she was able to stop the one-on-one runaway. Bell turns around off the mark. Rebound by Powers, handed off to Mitchell, who Mitchell does not happen to be participating in the Intercontinental WWE Championship. Shot by Jackson, still having trouble finding the mark. Those are good-looking shots. They just aren't hitting the mark tonight. And that shot was put up originally by someone not on our roster. So 33 girl. So she's into the game for the first time tonight. In a game like this, you want to try and play some kids, give them experience, but we're in a position where we're just trying to find ourselves still. Mitchell picks that ball off. Looking up. No one's looking at her, though. Mitchell fakes. We use the ball screen from Brady. And all of our players are around the top of the court. Jackson drives, gives off to Mitchell. Shot taken.
Good rebound.
Good rebound, yeah. Powers assertive, just doesn't get to
Just
go.
can't get it to fall.
Nope. Clanks off the back of the iron. Powers visibly frustrated. Merriweather has the ball. Brings it back out. Shot given by Elliott off the mark. And we have some more subs coming into the game for all teams. thing I never understood, all the hype, was the wishbone.
Yeah,
You know,
I think that was more of a thing when we were younger. The fight for it. Who were the ones that got to do it?
there's a trick about if you put the wishbone in, I think it's vinegar, it makes it rubbery.
Oh,
Yeah. And so my sister did that one time to me when I was a kid. So you know what I did that year for Christmas?
oh boy.
Oh, and hey, an air ball can be a pass, I guess, is the ball put in by Whitaker. You know what? That year for Christmas, I got her a blow pop sucker, and I put it in a box. I said, and I wrote on the middle of the box, I said, "Merry Christmas, ha ha, you sucker."
Wow.
Yeah.
You were like 22 when you did that?
Yes, just last year.
Okay.
No, but my sister never let me live that down. She's like, "Remember that time when you got me that really dumb gift?" Yeah, whatever.
Well,
The dumb gift happened in 1979 when you were born. No, I don't say that, but I probably would have said that when I was a kid. Sorry if you're listening, Kara. All right, driven in by Mitchell. And kind of a block. Good block by Grace Winks. You know, Berlin, they do have a lot of juniors. They're, Abby Bell clearly is the apple of the eye for the team offensively. Things kind of end with her, and they begin with Bandari, but they're going to be good. They've got quite a bit of juniors and seniors, or juniors and sophomores, and it's one of those things where with our youth, we're still trying to find what we're capable of doing, and Jackson just cannot. She's just not confident. She's just not confident, and those nights happen. Rough nights happen. The big thing, shooters, they just have to keep shooting. It will eventually start happening. Shooters just keep shooting. And we're finding not very much rim on some of these here, Josh.
no, not a lot of success tonight. Defensively, the fights for the balls and the turnovers have been good. It's just offensively haven't been able to capitalize on those turnovers and those shots.
Bree Card coming in for the first time for the Presidents tonight, number 10. Sophomore. And, looking at our roster, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sophomores. 1 freshman. 1 junior. We're young. And people have to understand that. It's a process that it will make us better in the end, but we're going to have those growth pains, Did
Yes.
you have growing pains when you were a kid, Josh?
Not that I can recall, but I did watch it.
Na da da da. Mr. Mullins, were you a fan of growing pains when you were a kid?
Nah.
You didn't like Alan Thicke?
I watched it, but to say I was a fan, I watched it because it was on.
I understand, yeah.
And back then, there wasn't a whole lot on.
No.
It's the days of streaming over 10,000 shows were not there. You had your basic 3 to 4 channels that you had to go to for programming.
There were so few channels, you actually almost had PBS to watch. People actually watched PBS a lot back then,
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see how they fix this daggone sink on this old house. Shut up. I'm watching that. And then Bob Ross. Yeah, people watch Bob Ross. And
that was way before HGTV, where they were flipping houses and it was cool. It was just folks just putting in work and making things practical ways to make things happen.
Speaking of practical ways of making things happen, Harding down by 20, 44-24, with a little under 3 minutes left in the last quarter, as Harding only has one starter into the game right now, and getting some girls some playing time and seeing if they can cut their teeth and show why they should be on the court more. Nice defensive pressure, a little out of control by Card, but high-spirited nonetheless, and a little bit of a travel. And Olentangy has a lot of their starters out as well. Mitchell bringing the ball up the court, trying to set up flat 3 with one man in motion. Takes to the rim, doesn't find anything, has to pull back out. Here's the thing, man. If you're going to drive to the rim, go towards the basket. I've seen it about 5 or 6 times tonight, Josh, where our girls, when they drive to the rim, they're driving to the corner of the backboard.
Yeah. Yep. And
they're
they're staying wide.
Yes, they're way too wide.
Not going in toward the paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to go to the corner of that little the springs that are holding the actual rim in place. That is where you drive towards. You drive towards that, not the corner of the backboard. You will never have an angle. Oh, and we got an and one. Good job.
Basket is good by Casey Whitaker.
Casey Whitaker buying a shot here, and but that's the thing, man. I've seen some good stuff from Whitaker tonight. She's a sophomore and trying to find her place on this roster and her role. Nice free throw, good looking shot, good ball rotation. Looks promising, Josh.
Yes, and this is the first game. You're going to have that, especially with the younger players. Some of them, just get those jitters at first game. This is where grandma's here and grandpa, and you got to put on a show.
Yeah, especially around Thanksgiving and family comes in and.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, gets exciting as Raina Smith is going to check into the game, and we just saw her play in the JV game. So, yeah, Raina. So that's the thing with Raina being another 10th grader and finding a role. That's the thing. Getting players in. Getting them playing time at a varsity level. Some of these girls, just being honest, Josh, they need to go play more basketball. It's really that simple. They need to go play more basketball. Man, Whitaker.
Very good take.
Hey, listen, I think she might be the leading scorer tonight. I'm impressed. Driven in, forced back out. Ping pongs. Taken down by Thomas and an in. So a little bit of an offensive push here in the last couple minutes, making the game media close. Then a backdoor pass and actually good. That's a good piece of officiating right there. These kids want to get in and play. So the referee takes his own timeout. Get the kids in, let them have some fun. Let the kids play, Josh.
Yes, that's something that, even when it is 55 seconds or so, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Smith looks around, finds Whitaker. Whitaker to Pedraza. Thomas drives around trying to find somebody and finds Pedraza and gets one to fall in. So that's the kind of thing, man. There's some good stuff that's happening out of this. But there's just that lack of attentiveness to details, defensively, things like that. And a full half-court shot taken, going to be a little short there. Speaking of short, 33-48, losing the game tonight to the Olentangy Berlin Bears. Man, formidable first opponent. Oftentimes teams want to play, a lower team or a smaller school team to kind of start the season, and we went in for the big one right from the beginning. Big school.
And that's also a big thing as well. You look at some of these teams that play, even in college. They're going to win this one. So
right.
You want to go with that stronger schedule and see what you really have to work with and where you need to go. And when you figure that out, that could turn the season totally around.
Right. So playing time, plenty of opportunities for us to kind of learn from this, and our youth to kind of take some notes. And we're going to take some bruises, we're going to take some punches, but it'll make us better in the end, I believe. Folks, tomorrow night the Harding boys will be kicking off a game against Whetstone, if I am correctly speaking, or Westland. Yep, they'll be playing Westland. And I will not be here, but Josh will be here for your aural listening pleasure, and he will bring to you the game. And I've heard rumors, Josh, the boys are pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard the same rumors.
So
I'm excited to see.
I'm hoping you'll see a lot of Dunkopotamus Rexi being in your future. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening and allowing us to be in into your ears as well. And again, this has been a Harding High School Telecom production. I'm Scott Cameron. For Josh Votal, thanks for joining us.